Hi, and thanks for joining us for our class today. So this is the second in our series of postnatal classes for women, designed to help strengthen and engage our pelvic floor and our deep abdominal core muscles. So we don't recommend starting these exercises until you're 8 weeks following an uncomplicated delivery, or 12 weeks if you've had a caesarean section. Now, during all of these exercises, it's really important when we're engaging post-pregnancy, our pelvic floor and our core muscles, that we're keeping our tummy nice and flat. So we're really engaging and bringing together those tummy muscles. So if you're finding that your tummy's doming and you're struggling to keep that tummy flat, it may mean that you need to seek some advice from a health professional before continuing. But most importantly, I hope you enjoy the classes and we can work together at really strengthening these core and abdominal muscles for great benefits as we go on. Okay, so we'll get started. So just begin, we're going to start in sitting, just to do a few gentle stretches. So make sure that weight's sitting nice and evenly through your hip bones. You can just start by tilting that pelvis forwards and back, just to look to find that midpoint between those two movements, so that pelvis in a nice neutral position. So that core's gently engaged, those ribs are soft, collarbones wide, and that neck is nice and long and lifted. Great. So we're going to open our chest a little bit. We're going to bring our hands and bring them round behind our head. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, bring those elbows back, and then reach those hands up to the ceiling. Breath in. As you breathe out, floating those hands back down, and relax those elbows. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, opening out those elbows, reach up, breath in. As you breathe out, floating back down, and relax those elbows. Good. Breath in. Just bring those elbows out slightly on that out breath. Reach up, breath in here. As you breathe out, floating those hands back down and relax those elbows. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, opening out those elbows, reach up, breath in. As you breathe out, folding back and relax those elbows. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, opening out, reach up, breath in here. As you breathe out, relaxing down, relax those elbows. Good. One last time, breath in. As you breathe out, open those elbows, reach up, breath in here. As you breathe out, floating down and relaxing those elbows. Good. And just relax those arms back down, relaxing those shoulders. Okay, so we're just going to stretch out through our sides, a little mermaid stretch. We're going to bring one arm down by my side. I'm going to reach the other arm up and over just as far as you can. Just nice opening out through that side. Breath in here. As you breathe out, coming back up and over. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, reaching over. Breath in here. As you breathe out, coming back up and over. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, reach that arm over. Breath in. And as you breathe out, back up and over. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, reach that arm over. Breath in here. As you breathe out, back to that centre. Lovely. One more each side. Breath in. As you breathe out, reach that arm over. Breath in here. As you breathe out, back to that centre. Lovely. One last time. Breath in. As you breathe out, reaching over. Breath in here. And as you breathe out, back to that centre and relax those arms down. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to come round onto all fours now, so into 4-point kneeling. So coming around with our knees underneath those hips, hands under our shoulders. Make sure those elbows are soft, they shouldn't be locked back. If you find it too much on your wrist, you can come up onto your fist if that's more comfortable from here. So just gently, we're going to start just moving our spine into a cat stretch movement. So just going to gently tuck that pelvis under, arching that back up, and then dropping down into that extended position. So just arching up, flexing through that spine, drop down, and arching that back. Good. So just flexing and extending through that spine. Just nice and slowly, just lovely mobilisation movement through here. Good, just do a few more. Dropping that head under, extending through that spine. Very good. And dropping down. Lovely. One more here, just arching that back up, dropping down and finding that midpoint between those two movements. So we're in that nice neutral position, so our back is relatively flat here. Just tuck that tailbone under, so really into that neutral position of the pelvis. That core's engaged. Imagine that belly button just lifting gently up towards the spine here. Okay, so we're going to start by engaging our core, and then we're going to reach one arm in front, and then fold back. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, reach the arm in front, keeping my neck long, and fold back. Now I'm really keeping that control. I'm not letting my back arch, keeping that nice and flat as I reach the arm away. Good, breath in. As you breathe out, reaching the arm and back, lovely. And again, reach that arm forwards and back. Reaching the arm away and fold back, lovely. One more each side with our arms. Reach that arm forwards, neck still long. Good, so you're just looking down onto that mat and back, lovely. Now, just going to move our legs now from here. So breath in, as you breathe out, we're going to lengthen one leg away, keeping that leg just going parallel with the floor and then folding back. Good, and again, breath in. As you breathe out, floating that leg back, keeping that back nice and flat, that core engaged and coming back. Good, and again, reaching away and folding back, lovely. And again, as you reach that leg away, breath in. As you breathe out, folding back, lovely. And again, reaching away, keeping that leg nice and flat. Sometimes you see people trying to do too big a movement here. And actually, we're trying to keep that back nice and flat. My core's engaged and folding back. Good. Now, if that's comfortable, either just stay here with just the legs, or if you can, we can add in that arm again. So we do our opposite arm, opposite leg movement. So really keeping that control. So you lengthen away and fold back. Good. And again, so keeping that control, that tummy's engaged. So it's all about the control here. We don't want to lose that nice position of our spine, keeping that nice and flat, keeping that core engaged. So we're lengthening away. Very good. But again, just go back to just the arms or just the legs if that starts to feel a bit wobbly, okay? So keep that control. Breathing out as we lengthen, opposite arm, opposite leg. Breathe in as we fold back. Very good. Reaching away and folding back. Just do a few more here. Reaching the opposite arm, opposite leg, lovely. And again, folding back, well done. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Let's do one more each side. Reaching away, very good. Last one here. And then folding back, excellent. Okay, so drop that bottom down onto your heels. We're going to bring our arms in front and just have a nice little stretch here into this child pose stretch. So just breathing in and out. As we breathe out, just sink down into that stretch just that little bit further if you can. So breath in. As you breathe out, sinking down that little bit further. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, sink down that little bit further. Well done. Breath in. And as you breathe out, relaxing down into that stretch. Just that little bit further from here. Well done. One more time. Breath in. As you breathe out, relaxing down. Good. And then we're just going to come back up from here. So we're going to come round and down onto our backs now. So just coming round onto our backs. Feet and knees that hip width distance apart. So we're going to start by setting that pelvis here. So just to begin with, just tilt that pelvis forwards and back. Just looking to find that midpoint. Now in our last class we mentioned about that diamond shape that you can put on your tummy, and just look to find that midpoint, and that diamond is nice and flat onto that tummy here. So that core is gently engaged, ribs soft, collarbones wide, and that neck is nice and long and lifted. Fantastic. So we really remember all these exercises, we're looking to maintain this position. We're not letting to lose that neutral pelvis, keeping that tummy nice and flat. Fantastic. So we're going to float our hands up towards the ceiling now, and then we're just going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, I want you to take one arm back behind you and then come back. Now what we're really looking for here is to really keep this connection between those ribs and those hip bones. So as I take my arm back, I'm not letting my ribs flare, okay? So it might be that you can't go all the way back towards the floor. You're just going back to where you feel comfortable to take that arm back, so that we can maintain this neutral position, maintain that position through that pelvis. So we're not letting those ribs flare. That's what you're really looking for. If you're finding that you're lifting and you're feeling that lift through that back, then you're probably going a little bit too far, and you really need to engage that core and keep this connection between those ribs and those hip bones. So imagine there's a spring there between them, and you're trying to keep that spring nice and tight. You're not letting it kind of ping out. Good. So opening out and folding back. Good. So keeping that control, just getting that nice movement through your arms as well. but really focusing on keeping this nice and controlled and not letting those ribs flare or that back arch. So it's actually quite a simple movement, but it's quite hard to keep that control. Well done. We'll just do the last few. Controlling that movement here. Excellent. Opening out, lovely. And let's do one more each side. And last time. And then float those arms back down. Well done. Okay. So if you've got a little pillow or block, then just pop that between your knees here. Just helps to sort of engage those toe muscles a little bit more. So keep that core gently engaged. If you need to reset, so just tilt that pelvis forwards and back again, do. So that core's engaged, my ribs are soft, collarbones wide. So we're going to go into a bridge from here. So arms relaxed down by your side. So feet just tucked up towards your bottom a little bit from here. So we take a breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that bottom under, lift up into that bridge. Breath in here. As you breathe out, walk that spine slowly back down onto the mat. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, lifting up into that bridge. Breath in here. As you breathe out, walking that spine slowly back down onto the mat. Good. Breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that pelvis under, lifting up into that bridge. Breath in here. As you breathe out, walk that spine slowly back down onto the mat. Good. So we're keeping that block between our knees. Just helps to engage that tummy a little bit more and keep that knee in that position. Breath in. As you breathe out, walk that spine peeling back down onto the mat. So just lifting as far as you're comfortable. Breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that pelvis under, lifting up. Breath in. As you breathe out, walk that spine back down. Now on this next one, we can add a little heel raise if you're feeling strong and you want to try and challenge it a bit more. So breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that pelvis under, lifting up into that bridge, keeping that bottom lifted, that pelvis level. See if you can just raise a heel and then the opposite heel. Breath in. As you breathe out, walk that spine back down. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that pelvis under, lift up into that bridge. Breath in. As you breathe out, raise a heel and the opposite heel if you can. Breath in. As you breathe out, walk that spine back down. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that pelvis under, lift up into that bridge, raising a heel if you can, then the opposite heel. Breath in. As you breathe out, walk that spine back down. Fantastic. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that pelvis under, use those bottom muscles, lifting you up into this bridge, keeping that pelvis level. If you're raising a heel, then the opposite heel, and then slowly walking that spine back down. Fantastic. Let's do one more time. Breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that pelvis under, lifting up, keep that bottom engaged, then raising a heel, and then the opposite heel, and then as you breathe out, lowering back down. Well done. Okay, so we can keep that block between our knees, arms down by your side. Just do a few little rotations from here. So we're dropping our knees over to one side, turn your head to the opposite side if you can. Use those toe muscles to bring those knees back up and over to that centre. And again, dropping those knees over, turning that head, breath in, as you breathe out, back up. So just opening out through that spine, just enjoying that stretch, drop those knees over, and then slowly coming back up. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, drop those knees over, turn that head, breath in. And as you breathe out, back up to that centre. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, drop those knees over, turning that head, breath in. As you breathe out, back to that centre. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, drop those knees over, turning your head. Breath in here. As you breathe out, back to that centre. Lovely. Last one each side. And one more time here, drop those knees over, turning your head. Fantastic. Okay, so we're just going to move that block from our knees. We're just going to stretch through our legs. So just bring one knee up to the ceiling and then lengthen through the back of the leg, just holding that stretch here. So just using your hand just to support the back of the leg, just stretching through the back of the leg, toes pointing up to the ceiling, no tension through those shoulders, just holding this here, breathing in and out. As you breathe out, relax down into that stretch. Good. Breath in. As you breathe out, relaxing down. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, relaxing down. Well done. And we'll just change your stretch slightly and just point and flex through the foot here if you can. Just gently moving through that foot, pointing and flexing through the ankle. Good. And then just point those toes back to the ceiling again, holding that stretch, lovely. On that out breath, just sinking down into it if you can, but just where's comfortable, good. And then lower that leg back down. We'll do the same on the other side, so knee up to the ceiling, lengthen through the back of the leg, feeling that stretch through the back here, holding that there, breathing in and out. Just holding this stretch, just lengthening through the back of that leg. No tension through those shoulders if you're supporting that leg, good. And then if you can, I'm just going to point and flex through the ankle, just moving through that ankle movement here. Well done. And then just going to hold that again, so those toes pointing up to the ceiling, lengthening through, breathing in and out here. Well done. And then lowering that leg back down, excellent. So we're going to come round back up into sitting, just to finish off here. So just sitting back onto our mat, however you're comfortable. We're just going to do a little side stretch like we did in the beginning. So we take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to drop one arm down, reaching over, breath in here. As you breathe out, back to that centre, good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, drop that arm over, breath in here. As you breathe out, back to that centre, good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, drop that arm over, reaching out to that stretch, breath in here. As you breathe out, back up and over. One last time, breath in. As you breathe out, reach that arm over, breath in here. As you breathe out, back to that centre, lovely, and just relax those arms back down. Fantastic. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the class today and starting to feel stronger through that core and those pelvic floor muscles. And hopefully we'll see you again to follow our series for our third in our postnatal classes.